Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. You know, as the college football season starts to wrap up, as we get to the postseason of college football, which a lot less people pay attention to because on these games are being played on days that don't necessarily like fit our schedules, like the Wednesday afternoon game or the Thursday, at 9 o'clock at night game. These things don't always tend to match schedules that fans can follow, and so it becomes a little haphazard with all of the postseason bowl games until we get to the New Year's games where people tend to have off work. They've scheduled to possibly go to games. Then we start to see that there's an uptick in interest. But what we do see interest in immediately right now is the draft season, because once the regular season is over, our first attention turns to the draft and who are the new possible prospects, right? Excuse me, who are the new possible prospects that are going to populate the NFL next year coming from college? Who are the guys? Who are the dudes? Who's going to be those top picks? Who's going to be the guy that improves our team for next year? It becomes obsessive. Some people could argue that the offseason from the NFL is actually more action-packed, more exciting than the regular season or the postseason in the NFL. There is more investment. I know from a journalistic standpoint, there's more work. That's funny, isn't it? It's crazy when you think about it. There's actually more work in the offseason for a journalist, the NFL and the college football offseason, than there are in the regular season. Because in the regular season, the regular people who run their beats, they get their stories. But in the offseason, when you have player evals and you have depth chart issues and you have breakdowns of people who are coming back, breakdowns of people who are leaving, breakdown of people who are signed in free agency, there's just a lot more work, right? There's a lot more work. But so the draft season becomes a season that within itself is big business. So it always makes me like put my finger to my head like and wonder, why is it that when we get to the draft season, people start talking about character issues, right? Oh, well, this guy is great, but they have character issues. The latest one is Jalen Carter of Georgia, who everyone believes is the best player in college. Everybody believes he's the best player in college. Defense, offense, it doesn't matter. He's the best player in college. Everybody believes he should be a top pick, number one, number two, whatever it's going to go, right? Yet now you're starting to see people say things like character issues. But what are the character issues? Why bring up something and not actually like elaborate on what the issues are? I remember there was a player, and I'm not going to name the player because that's long gone, but there's a player and he had character issues. And his character issue was that he had not attended classes. That he had just simply not gone to classes. Why didn't he go to classes? Because he knew he was going to the NBA, right? Or he knew he was going to the NFL. And so because they knew, they didn't go to class. Well, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, that's not necessarily a character issue. That's someone who knows where they want to be, and it's not in college. And if you didn't make them go to college, in order to achieve this dream, they would have never gone to college in the first place. You think that all of these people want to go into a college classroom to sit down and learn about stuff they have zero interest in? No, this is being forced on them. It's being forced on them in sports where the guys look like me primarily, right? We can call it what we want to call it and everything, but the maturity, blah, blah, blah. Nope, sorry. Miss me with that. If somebody's mature enough at 20 years old to be in the NFL, 21, then 18, they're good. If they're good enough, they're good. I had a 6'7", 325-pound offensive lineman leave me as a senior. 6'7", 325. He's not going to get any bigger. He can get stronger, but you know what? He could get stronger on the NFL's dime. They could have development for him. He's going to develop a lot faster in the NFL program with all of the things that they have in place, dietary needs, the understanding of it. He's going to develop so much faster in that NFL than he would in college. Because depending upon the college he goes to, they're not going to give him the same level of whatever it is he does, right? So it's not hard to understand when you have these jobs that you have earmarked for these people and say, but you can't take these jobs until. And then you're mad at them because they don't want to go to college. Listen, I love college. I love school. That's why I teach. That's why I love educating. I love learning. I love learning about new things. I'm a fan of it, right? But not everybody's me. Not everybody wants to go to that biology class or that U.S. history before and after 1865. Well, why are we forcing them to? And when we force them to, and they don't go, we want to say that they have a character issue because they don't take school seriously? That's just counterintuitive. You've seen tons of players who had quote unquote character issues in college go to the NFL and be perfectly fine. Why is that? Because now they're doing what they want to do with their life. How often do we see the slacker who barely does anything in high school? That slacker barely does anything in high school, and then upon going to college or going into the workforce, begins to kill it. Like, we see that all the time out of these people. That guy, that kid who barely got C's in high school, barely made it through high school, and then went off, and now they're making a ton of money doing whatever. Mr. Beast on YouTube doing millions upon millions of dollars a week because he didn't want to go to college. He actually lied about going to college because he was doing YouTube. His mom kicked him out of the house. He makes millions upon millions of dollars a month. His network, his platform on YouTube is so huge that if it disappeared, YouTube would take a hit. YouTube would take a hit. That tells you how big it is. That tells you how grand it is. Imagine if someone said in order for you to do that, you had to go to college. You had to do all of these things. Mr. Beast would have had character issues because he skipped. He never went. Why is it that on the time where we should be thinking about and evaluating, we should be evaluating the talent, the skills of these players, we taint their names with character issues. If the team wants to have an issue with the character of the player, let the team talk about that. We in the media shouldn't be digging into things we don't know anything about. Oh, well, they have character issues. What does that mean? Well, I got it from a source. The source says that they have character issues. What does that mean? Sources say, what does that mean? What are we doing? All we're doing is throwing shade on people who haven't done anything to us. And then when they don't like us, when they don't want to give us interviews, when they're standoffish, when they don't trust us, we go, oh, y'all are just making our jobs harder. Now we play victim. No, man, you bashed that guy. You cost that guy money. You cost that guy draft position, which cost him money. You cost that guy endorsements because now he's looked at as a bad kid, as a bad person. And then you want him to give you a solid? You want her to be cool with you? That's not how it works. Character issues, if the character issues are not, he was arrested, he did this, was found guilty of, he is involved in this. If the character issues are not public, then there's no reason for us to make it public. There's no reason for us to make it public. In most cases, character issues come down to personality differences. A player didn't like the way this dictator college coach talked or treated him, and so he lashed back. Character issue? The way they treat you in the NFL is not the way they treat you in college. Right? Character issue? How many people in this world have had jobs where they did not like their boss? And so it was a difficult work environment with that boss. They didn't like the boss. It was a difficult work environment with the boss. So many of you, so many people have. We don't have to pretend. We don't have to pretend as if this is brand new territory. Imagine if you, with all of the crazy dumb stuff that you did coming out of high school, if people went to your job, people that didn't know you, didn't know anything about you, and said, hey, this person has character issues, and your character issue was that you used to go to school late, you used to show up to classes late, you went out and partied too many nights. That's your character issue. It's college, right? So why are we doing that to these while they're figuring it out? They've never been on a real job. We keep trying to tell them, we keep trying to convince everybody that college football isn't professional, and yet we treat them and we sustain the thought process about how they acted in college as if it was professional. You know what you don't have to do in the NFL? You don't have to go to school. You can wake up and be about football all day. And when football is over, you can live your life. You don't have to worry about doing homework. You don't have to worry about reading books that you have no interest in. Again, I love that stuff. It was fun for me. But it really is awesome to be able to go to work, go home, and not have to do work. It is awesome to be able to go home and not have to worry about something. In college, a football, basketball player, any of these sports, they have two jobs. They have school and they have their sport. When they become professionals, they only have their sport. So where's the character issue? Most of the issues surround the other job. I have two jobs, so I'm surrounded by the other job. Once I no longer have the other job, hey, magically, I don't have issues. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And until we stop trying to like cut down these players, pull their draft status down because of something that actually makes no sense, we're going to continue to have these truculent relationships with these young men and young women as they come into the professional arena. Don't be surprised by it. It is of your doing. You are a self-fulfilling prophecy. The same way that we have devalued running backs to the point where not many of them go in the first round. So then when they go in the second, third, or fourth round and they're good, we go, look, you don't really need to take one in the first round. No, idiot. That's a first round draft pick that you just didn't draft in the first round. Jalen Hurts is a first round draft pick quarterback that you did not draft in the first round. Dak Prescott, a first round draft pick quarterback you did not draft in the first round. Russell Wilson, a first round draft pick quarterback you did not draft in the first round. Why? Because there were issues. Get over your issues and stop trying to weigh these young men and young women down in their sports. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Hey, Holiday Classic in Savannah. I'm going to be around. You should look for it. Make sure that you've liked and hit that notification bell so that you can get all of that information when I'm out there. All right? Till next time. Peace.